Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. I'm Mikailu Nadro. Today I'll be taking Aptos Fungible Token Standards. Before we start on today's agenda, I would like to talk about DoraHacks and the DoraHacks DAO bounty. So, what is DoraHacks? DoraHacks is a global hackathon organizer and one of the world's most active multi-chain Web3 developer platforms. It creates a global hacker movement and provides crypto-native toolkits to help developers around the world team up and fund their ideas and build those via hackathons, bounties, grants, grant DAOs, and public good staking. So we have over 3,000 projects, and the DoraHacks community has received over $20 million in grants and in other forms of contribution. So a large number of open source communities, DAOs, and other 40 major blockchain ecosystems are actively using the DoraHacks infrastructure. So we'll check the DoraHacks DAO bounty briefly before we start today's agenda. Okay, right. So here is the platform. I have a DoraHacks.io DAO bounty. Check the website. So here we have some hackathons, some bounties, currently going on. So we have research bounties, we have article bounties, we have translation bounties. So as a developer or a web researcher or whatever kind of hacker you are, you could just simply um, check and find the one that is that um, best fits your expertise, so that you can join. So I'll start by sharing my screen. Okay, right. Once again, I'm Mikailu Nadro. We'll be talking about Aptos Fungible Token Standard. So our outline is based on 3 points. So the first one is the fundamentals of Aptos Fungible Token. Second one is comparison between Aptos and the ERC20 tokens. And the third one is the process of issuing a new coin. We'll be using a related case for explanation. So fundamentals of Aptos token. What are these fundamentals? First, we are going to look at the token categories. We are going to look at token category. So first one is fungible token, right? Second one is non-fungible token, which is NFT. And the third one, and the last one is the SFT, which is called the semi-fungible token. So along the line, when I use the acronyms FT, the NFTs, and the SFT, you should know this what it means. So for the fungible tokens, the FT has one unique token ID, which means token sharing the same creator, collection, name, and property versions are fungible. While the NFTs they are always different. They always have different token IDs, but it is noted that NFTs belonging to the same collection, they will always share the same creator and the collection in the field. So all the tokens created within a particular collection always share a similar creator. That's one creator, same creator. So SFTs, as it's usually misunderstood by a lot of people, is the only concepts, and they are kind of different, but they kind of combine some features from the fungible tokens and some features from the NFTs. So fungible Aptos fungible asset standards. So what is the Aptos fungible asset standard? Aptos fungible asset standard, also known as fungible assets or FA, is a core framework component within Aptos that enables tokenization of various assets. So some of the use cases are, we have It's used in real estate ownership, enabling fractional ownership and providing liquidity to traditional illiquid markets. We have in-game assets such as virtual currencies, and characters can be tokenized as well. So besides the aforementioned features, fungible assets is a superset of cryptocurrency, as a coin is just one type of a fungible asset. So the standard is built upon Aptos object model, which we'll be looking at now. So all the resources defined here are included in the object resource groups and stored inside these objects. So we have two types of the objects basically related to the FEs, that's the fungible assets. We have the object metadata and we have the object fungible store. So what is the object metadata? What it does, it includes information about the fungible assets, such as the name, symbol, and the decimal, be it 18, 9, or whatever. Then we have the object fungible store. It stores a specific amount of FAs. Now the FAs are units that are interchangeable with others and the same with others of the same metadata. They can be stored in objects that contain a fungible store resource. These store objects can freely be created and the FAs can be moved. They can be split and combined between them easily. So the objects we just mentioned are the the object types. Sorry, the object types we mentioned are the object metadata and the object fungible store. Here is a diagram explaining everything, how it works. The objects and their relationships and the accounts in this are shown. So Alice is just like an account, or let's say better still a user. And we have the secondary fungible store. We have the primary fungible store. So from ownership being transferred from the marketplaces down to the users. And also we see metadata from the stores to the metadata as well being transferred. That's the object itself, the object metadata. So the design principles. Just like any other, we have flexibility, composability, and scalability. These are the three basic design principles for the Aptos digital asset standards. The first one, the flexibility. NFTs are flexible and can be customizable, and they can also accommodate creative designs. Multiple NFTs can be easily composed together. That's for composability and scalability. Greater parallelism between tokens. Just tokens getting shared, like sharing a common characteristics between them. We have fungible assets and fungible store. So the code below here just identifies it all. The fungible assets, we have the object metadata, and of course the amount in U64. So specifically, it must be deposited at the back into the fungible store. That's, we are explaining the FEs now. At the end of the transaction, which is defined as below. Resource group member, group is equal to Aptos framework, objects, then the object group. We have structs, fungible store has a key. Then the comments, address of the metadata. Then we have balance, the balance of the fungible metadata, which is the metadata, the object metadata. Then we have FEs transferring a common operation, which allows freezing, which now we have the frozen data. The only extra field added here is the frozen. If it is true, the object is frozen, that is, deposit and withdrawal are both disabled using the transfer reference. Now, what is this references? Reference just means to implement granular permission control across different standards in Aptos. In different contexts, it may be core capabilities. So we have three types of these references. We have the mint reference, the transfer reference, and the bond reference. and each of these contains all these references to fungible assets standards. So the code is shown here below. So creators now, very important part. A fungible asset creator can add fungibility to any undeletable objects. Let's say you can add maybe, let's say, taking construct reference with the required information to make that object a metadata of the associated FA. So now this FA is a metadata that can be minted and used. It is noted that undeletable means can delete field of the construct must be false. So here's what all these things we're explaining down here in the code. This is what it means. Public add fungible. What have you? So the next is the users. Users are fungible holders. Any fungible asset holder is a user. It can also be called a user. Also, those that match two FAs of the same metadata objects can also be users. Also extract FA partially from another. Then those that also deposit to and withdraw from a fungible store and emit events as a result, just like our diagram where we have Alice. Alice is a user. Now go to the next one, comparison between Aptos and the ERC20. So what are these comparisons? That's what we are going to look at here. So the first one is the accounts in Aptos are homogeneous, and in that they can store both smart contracts and data, while that in the Ethereum is for the ERC20 is not the case. And the associated data of the smart contract is distributed across the space of all accounts. The associated data of a contract in Ethereum is broken into pieces stored in its owner's account, right? So for example, an NFT smart contract will store all NFTs and their holders in the mapping and other metadata like supply in a state variable. However, in Aptos NFTs are stored under each owner's account respectively. Another interesting trade-off between these two account models of Ethereum and Aptos is data locality. For Ethereum, it is hard to know. It's hard to know all the token owners of a specific account, but easy to get all owners of a token type. While for Aptos, the opposite is true if no indexing is built. And another one we have the Aptos token standard it shares some similarities with that of Solana. That explains why Solana keeps appearing here. And especially how it covers the FT, the NFTs, and the SFTs in one standard. It covers basically all of them in one standard, unlike the ERC, where you have other standards for it just makes everything complicated. Each standard we have the ERC for token, the NFT standards, the NFT 1155, the ERC 1155, the ERC 720. It's just different in this case. While the ERC20 smart contract just takes care of the token standard. And finally, Ethereum uses Solidity, while Aptos uses the Move programming language. So finally now, the process of issuing a new coin using a related use case. We are going to pick an example, let's say a coin, a gaming coin. So here is it. So as a developer now, you may have you may fancy wanting to include Web3 experience in your gaming development, right? So now, what are the steps that you can do to maybe integrate or bring in a Web3 kind of economy into your gaming ecosystem? So the first step to take is knowing the Aptos command line interface, the CLI. I think I'll drop all the links for those interested to know more. Then we have the token is fungible. So one of the steps is the token has to be fungible. The second one is the token is associated with a URL, that's like a link, an active link that points to that coin image. You are kind of relating it, you are joining this token to an image. Just like when you go into maybe any of the marketplaces or blockchain marketplaces and you see Ethereum, you see like kind of a diamond shape. So that image is attached to the Ethereum coin itself. Then next you can install this AptosCLI as a pre-compiled binary. Yeah, even the point. So this is recommended for Mac OS, this for Windows and Linux, and this for download pre-built AptosCLI binaries. So all the links will be provided below, and you can go through all these depending on what you want to use it for. If is it for a dev net, a developer net, is it a test net, or even a mainnet? When you might have tested it on a dev net and a test net, and you want to like, okay, you want to go live now, you just launch it straight on the mainnet. That's the big deal. um, so option installing the move provider. Optionally, you can install the move provider. This is another option to take. So how do you create a collection now? The token must belong to a collection or like set of collections by running the Aptos CLI. You can run this CLI on after you've set up from the previous steps. This after you finish your setup, you can just start running this CLI straight. So here are the parameters. As I mentioned, we are considering a gaming coin just for an example illustration basis. We have let's just we're assuming we want to create a game coin. So let's say the collection name is game coins, right? Then the collection description now, the collection of all game coins, that is the description. Then the URL, URI, I mean, it's empty because we don't intend to have an URL for this collection. Okay, if you don't want to have any, you just leave it empty. No need to write anything for the URL. Then we have maximum. There's a zero. Okay, zero means there's no maximum limit for the size of the collection. The collection could be increased, get could be burnt, and so many other things. Then we have the mutability vector. Just leave that one as it is, empty. Then now for the description, we have false. The URL, you have false because there's no URL, no description. Maximum also false because we do not want to have a maximum um, amount of the collection. So you just leave it at false. So now to create tokens, use this code to just the codes I highlighted below here. So the Aptos token in Aptos has a unique token ID as we mentioned earlier. A set of creator, collection and collection name, the token name, property versions as well. So you can see they're all outlined here. You can see the string. The collection name is game coins. It's highlighted here. The ARGS strings. We have the string, the silver coin, which is the name of the token now from the collection. The collection is the game coins, while the token name is the silver coin. So the string we have it's the currency is the currency in my game, while the U6410 U64 is at zero, right? Because it's false. We say we won't keep a maximum, we won't have right like we won't have a maximum cap, meaning we can create more, maybe mint. Yeah. Then um, the token URL can be kept um, can be kept you can leave it extra, but you can leave it empty. But if you want like to attach maybe let's say a particular image to this currency, we could provide the URL for it. Then of course the address, put in our address, then raw 000, and we go. So here are the parameters. We have a collection name, which is the game coins, same as the previous step for the collection. The collection contract we created earlier. So this one now is for token, specifically for tokens now. So you have to include the token name, which is silver coin, and the token descriptions. Maximum is usually 0 because we said there's no maximum supply. Then our URL can point to anything. Usually it is an RWIF or IPFS URL pointing to a token image, as I said. And we have the royalty payee address that's used for NFTs. For FTs, it is recommended to set the creator address. You being the creator, just you set up your address. And the royalty points used for NFTs. So this is a token, so we leave it at 0 because it's not an NFT. No need for royalties. Royalty points, the same thing, set it at 0. Maximum false, URL false, royalty also false, description false, property false, meaning none. Then the property key. Why we have all these parameters is because it combines the two, as we stated earlier. Right, so minting. This is the contract for minting. You just use the Aptos move run function ID. Let's say you want to mint 1000 tokens. The creator can run this. When you run this contract, ARGS address, our string of course game coins, and the token name, the silver coins. So we're minting 1000 tokens. Of course, we don't have a maximum cap, so we can mint as much as we want in this case. Then we have parameters. I think it's all explained. You put in your creator address there for the creator address, the collection name, which is game coin, the token name, the silver coin, while the mint amount, we want to mint 1000. So now transfer. To transfer 20 to a receiver, this is a contract you run. You put in your Aptos move run, then the function ID, transfer with opt in, then you have the string, the game coins, then we have the token name, which is the silver coin, and we have the E64, which is the balance. The maximum, we said we won't have a maximum cap, that's why we're leaving it at 0, so we can mint more. Now to burn, you could burn. If you want to burn, let's say want to burn 10 tokens from the creator. We being the creator want to burn 10 now. Go to Aptos move run function. Of course, you go to screen string game coins. Then you have the token name, which is silver coin, and our balance at E640, which is the initial one. We know it's kept at max, right? Then now we have the E6410 because now we are minting. We are burning 10 now. That's why it's showing E6410. Also, here are the parameters. The burn amount is 10. The owner address, we put the address of the owner. The collection name is the game coin. The token name is silver coin. The property version 0. And the FT will always be 0. References. These are the references provided. I think this brings us to the end. This brings us to the end of the presentation. Right? So, if there are any questions, I will entertain more questions before we call it a night or call it a day. Hello? Think in the absence of questions, think we can call it a day.
Hello, there are no questions. Thank you for your sharing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
We will see next time. Goodbye.
All right. Goodbye.